Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial where we will dive into powerful world of Microsoft Playwright and learn how to set it up seamlessly in Visual Studio 2022. In this video, I will walk you through the step-by-step process of setting up Playwright using Microsoft Playwright NuGet Package. We'll explore how to use Playwright's built-in capabilities to install and configure it in a container environment. But as many of you know, working with Playwright in containers can present some unique challenges, especially when it comes to debugging. I'll also cover the common problems developers face while debugging Playwright in containers, and most importantly, show you how to tackle them effectively. By the end of this tutorial, you'll learn how to set up a custom container image that can significantly reduce debugging time and boost your productivity. So, whether you are just starting with Playwright or looking to optimize your setup, stick around. Let's make your debugging experience faster and smoother. Okay, you can go to this website called playwright.com, and this website has all the information to get started. So look into this, and we are going to mainly focus on .NET today, and you can see these instructions how to get started with Visual Studio Code. Let's quickly see that. There are several videos on how to do that, so I'm not going to go over that. Let's find out where is the instruction for .NET library. It is mainly for Visual Studio. Where is that? And today's video, let me first find out. Yeah, here is the .NET, and also these are the instructions you can follow, but this is the getting started with the library. So you can see that this is the one, and these are sample code where you can actually quickly set up a console application and these code, and you can see that like even example code to instantiate the Chromium browser, and then take a screenshot of the website, and also several tags like you can see here. Like these are different project properties you can set up for different OS and support, and you can follow exactly as is here, or and add the packages like Microsoft Playwright, and this package you can add. But one of the important thing that we'll be doing today is the Docker support. Let me see, where is that information? Docker. So important is it runs by default but Docker containerizing is, we need that information. Let me show you that. Where is the Docker? I think it's in the integration section. Yes, so this is the Docker. So let's open what happened. I'll close that. Let's open that in a new tab. Okay, so this is the installation. You can see that you can actually pull one of their existing image and start using it in the Dockerfile or as a base image, but I wanted to create everything from the scratch. So let's basically I'll also need the PowerShell, because I'll install. Let's get the installation instruction for PowerShell. So install PowerShell. Let's go with PowerShell, and our version is in Debian, so I'll be going with on Debian. let's see if, oh sorry, it changed. Let's go to the manual. No, actually let's add Debian as the key as part of the search. It'll give, yeah, Debian, and I know it is 12, so let's select the 12, and this is the installation instruction for, so that's exactly we are looking for. So I'll keep this in the in this browser open, and exactly what we need, and let's this is pretty much what we need. All right, so now let's open a new Visual Studio. Let's run Visual Studio. It is starting. Okay, it is still starting. Let me bring it to here. All right. Okay, so when it is loaded, let's create a new project, and I'm going to use Windows services as one of the default. You can see I selected that one in the past, that's why it is here, but you can also search it from here. See this on this as well. You can just get into these search bar, like select the options, and you can see that under C# all platform services, I'll get that. Let's go to the next, and let's put project name as test playwright. Let's go to next, and I'll pretty much use the default as it, and mainly I'll be using the container support option, because that is one of the important feature that we are going to discuss today in this video, and I'll make it as a Linux and with the help of Dockerfile, and I'll select the even though 9 is there, but I'm at this moment in my machine it is 8 is the latest, so let's use that, and let's create the project. All right, let's wait for this to load. All right, so one thing that is, you can see it is started creating the Docker container, and you can see pretty much everything is container started successfully. So now let's go and run it once. That is important to see that this template is actually by default it is working properly. Right, so it started and you can see that it is working. All right, so now let's stop this and let's go to the document and follow the instructions from here. You can see it in the getting started library. This is the document. The first thing that we have to do is add this package called Microsoft Playwright. So we are going to add this through Visual Studio. Let's go to the NuGet Package Manager. So right click and say Manage NuGet Packages. And here we are going to browse and search for Microsoft. Let's click on the browse. Okay, is a Playwright, and you can see that, wow, this has almost like 18.1 million downloads so far. So that's very impressive. So you can see how many people are using Playwright for like automation, right? So so let's make sure that, and this section I want to copy the code that is actually this saying build for before doing further. So let's rebuild. We're actually build here, so you can see that it is building. And once it is building is done, we need to run this PowerShell command. Actually, since we are in the Windows, so we can just copy this one, just inside the bin folder we can run that. So let's open the PowerShell, like the terminal. Oh, I am in the general one. So actually this is in the entire repo I have. So let's not use this. I'll start. Where is, I think let's start a new terminal. I think it's inside the view. Come on. Okay, the terminal. This is, where is the terminal? Yeah, that's let's click on that. It's going to, okay, all right, it started. So the new terminal is started. So if I see, this is the folder. Let's go inside the playwright, and inside the bin install. Oops, what happened? I thought I did build. What is that? Looks like something is missing here. Let's go to bin. Let's go to the debug. Then we have the .NET 8, and the playwright, that PowerShell script is missing here. And what did I do wrong? Let's see if I really maybe need to rebuild. But rebuild did not create as well. Let's see. I think oh, that's why I don't see it. The package is properly added. All right, let's go to the package manager. Oh, I did not hit the install. That is why. So I actually clicked here. So let's, oops, sorry, I have a bad keyboard. Let's paste. Okay, most likely I'm going to edit this section. So let's go with okay, I have a problem with the keyboard, but let's copy this and paste it there. So I'm going to just paste it here. Let's enter. Yeah, it worked. All right, so I'm going to install. I forgot to so it's now, you can see that it is actually it's going to take some time, I believe. It did not add. No, it's now added. Okay, so you'll see that it is now added. So now if I rebuild, this is going to create the required files in. So it is, rebuild is completed. So let's go to the PowerShell. Actually not in this one. Let's go to that here, and here if I see the dir, and yes, you can see that playwright dot PowerShell ps1 is there. Okay, so that's here. Awesome. All right, so you can see that this file is here. So playwright.ps is here. All right, so next thing, what we are going to do is, let's we need to run this one. So let's go to the project folder, and from here I'm going to run that command. So let's go back to this document. Building is done, and now let's copy this and run it from here. What happened again? Oh, I forgot the version is actually 8.0, so that's what it's going to run now. It's going to take a while, so I'm going to pause this video and fast forward. Okay, so it's done. So now let's copy this code and paste this and run it from the service. So let's go. Let's copy this code and let's go to the worker.cs and replace this code, the default code, with that code. And you can see the playwright, it was red, now it is added because it automatically add the namespace, required namespace into this file. So and here you cannot run it from container because it's not set up yet, and you have to run it locally. So in my laptop I'm running this, so let's select this run from the local machine, click okay, it's not, that's the whole thing we are going to learn now, how to do that Docker. But right now for the first time let's test it, and if it is running successfully you will see that it started. Okay, and you should be able to see an image created from the Playwright website, and there you go. So you see that it actually created that the image file called this image. It took it from the browser, and so that's pretty much what it did. But it by default the look at this one, Playwright runs the browser in headless mode, means it don't show up. But if you can make it this like true, or sorry, headless false, then it is going to, let me show you that. So let's copy this code, and inside the Chrome launch section I'm going to add that. So it's now going to be headless false, means it is going to show the browser. So okay, now let's delete this image, delete. Okay, and let's run it, and you can see it started. Yeah, let me bring the windows here. Oops, it is so fast. It actually did pop up, show that, and you can see that is but let me add some sleep time so that at least I can bring the windows, the browser window, when it pops up I'll bring it. So let's say I'll make it like 5,000, means 5 seconds delay before it closes. And I'm going to also put a log, and this let's say this is the default text that let's delete one more time. Okay, all right, let's run it, and this time I'm going to bring the windows here. So this is started. Let me grab, and you can see that this is the window. It says the window is here, and it also created the image file right there. So you can see the log here. So this, up to this section, is pretty simple, straightforward, nothing complex. But when we run the same code in Docker container, okay, let me first delete this image that we created and run it as a Docker container, and see, boom, what we see is an exception. So this is the exception, the driver not found. You'll get that the playwright is not there, is missing playwright, the required folder are missing. So it's kind of like, and the driver not found. So these are the different things you can see. So let's fix this. Let's go to the documentation and see what we did run for the local machine. We have to run this PowerShell command in the container. So in order to do this, let's go to the Dockerfile, and here we are going to install everything. Let's use the root user because the app user will not have permission to install. And let's go to the documentation and let's find out, like, let's go to the, see, this is the Docker installation. We can very well use one of the existing image from Playwright and replace from the, but I think it will be easier to install everything ourselves. So that's what we are going through in this video. So let's copy, and we know the version, some of the things that we need to change, like the version ID and stuff like that. So let's copy this section from these installing the PowerShell, and let's and we'll follow, and the sudo, that these sudo is not going to be useful, but let's copy it because we will be running as root. So as you see that it is root, let's paste it. So what we are going to do, so this root has, all the sudo that we have here, we are going to replace that. We don't need that. We'll also change this version ID, which I know I'm using the latest 8 has 12, so I'm going to hard code for now, but you can very well use this code to actually get the actual value at runtime. Okay, let's replace this. All the sudo needs to replace with run. So that's pretty much it. So here it will restore and build the project, and then it will publish. And I wanted to actually introduce another section, which is also going to be the app root. I wanted to call it as like a semi-final, and there I wanted to use these this particular the PowerShell command, the Playwright PowerShell install. So that's going to be the semi-final step that I wanted to introduce. So let's go to the Dockerfile, and I wanted to make a copy of the last section, and let's copy this and paste it below, and I wanted to call this one as semi-final. So let's copy, and let's use the semi-final as the base for the final. So let's copy and replace base, and I don't need the entry point here, and I don't need the copy on the last step. So but the semi-final I wanted to run. Let's go to the browser and copy the this install step and paste it in the semi-final. Now let's copy the path for this Docker file and open a command prompt, and we are going to run docker build. Oops, looks like I put too many space. Okay, and also a typo. Okay, so the build is ready. Let's run it. Docker run, and I see some exception, and is the message. It says, looks like you launched a headed browser without having a X server running. Means in the container we cannot have, so it has to be headless equal to true. Means this is the true. So let's open the code in worker.cs. Let's go there, and let's change the headless to true, and let's run the container. Okay, it's built successful, it's running, but it is it's not going to work. Let me rebuild this again, and this process is going to take a while, and that is because once I made the changes in the C# file, it needs to create, it has to restore everything, then build, and then publish, and that is why we need some additional time for this. So let it finish. I'll pause and fast forward. So finally the Docker build is successful. It took almost 30 minutes. So, and now let's run this in Docker, and let's see. It started, but I think this is the first run, so obviously it's going to initialize the playwright library and see. Yes, you see it's saved. As you can see here, it created the screenshot.png. So that means as a headless browser, it is now working. So now that it worked, I am going to use this particular project's this Docker file as the base for my base image for Playwright. So for that, I don't need the application like test Playwright. This is just for testing. So so I'm going to remove all the files. So let me rm, and anything under this app folder, I'm going to delete everything from there, and I don't need an entry point as well. So let's build it. Oops, run rm that cannot remove, it's a directory. Okay, I have missed, I think, the star, and that should fix it. Cannot remove the files. I see. I think I missed some permission. No, what could it be? Oh, I have to use the recursive, so it has to be recursive. So it did able to run it. Now you can see that everything is fine. Now let's run it, and I'm inside this, and if I see the ls, no files exist. So this is perfect. So what I'm going to do now, so we have the perfect Docker file, and that creates a container. It's a running container, and that container is having what I need. So if I See, this is the container. See the container ID, and everything I is in this particular. So I can create, I can commit this one. So let's put commit into this particular container that is running. That's what we made, and I'll make this one as my, let's say, playwright image, and I'll call it as a version 1, and that's the base image. So now let's copy this image name and start Visual Studio. Once loaded, let's create a new project. Okay, and I'll be using the worker service as the, and let's give it a name, MLS data, the data collector, and let's click next. I'll use everything default. Make sure that container support is there, and let's create. Almost there. Okay, it opened in the other screen. Let me bring it here, and now it's going to build everything and start the container. So it's pretty much starting the container. Okay, it's done. So let me run this once, not making any changes. So let's make sure that it is working. Let it build succeeded. Looks like it is starting the container, and it is almost there. Okay, it started, and you can see that it is running. So let's stop this, and now we are going to change in the Dockerfile. Let's make the base image as the one that we created, which is my playwright image v1 version 1. That will be the base image for this, and let everything will be default. And we are also going to add the package. So let's go to the playwright. Let's go to the NuGet first, and then it's the same thing that we did for previously, which is nothing but, if you go to the website, you can see that in the getting started library, you can see that it is there, which is the Microsoft Playwright. So this is the same package we have to add into the NuGet. So let's add that. Okay, we are going to click on the install, and this is going to add this package into this, but in this project. Let's wait that to happen. Okay, now as you can see that it is added, the new package is added here. Let me point here. This is the one. So Microsoft Playwright is added to this project, and now let's rebuild so that whatever required dependency libraries are needed for Playwright, it is going to get everything. And rebuild all succeeded. So now let's go to the website and copy this code, and we are going to use the same code just to test this. So let's go to worker.cs, and I'm going to replace the existing code or the default code with this code that is from the website. and you see that it is automatically added the required namespace as needed. And now, so that's pretty much what it is ready to rebuild. Or and one more thing I wanted to add. I want to add this particular property that is in the, let's go to the project, edit the projects file, and let it load, and let's add this one here. Okay, and that way this is going to build for all devices, and also log this. See, by default I like the way IntelliSense or Copilot actually predict the, and so now let's I'm pretty much ready. Everything looks perfect. Let's run this Docker. So now let's wait for this to run. Okay, it is loading. Hopefully it is going to work. So this is the base image. It should be fast. You don't have to go through everything. It looks like it's taking some time. This is the first run. Obviously it's going to take some time, so I think let's wait for this container. Oops, it stopped. Let's see the log. What happened? Oh, I see that. So it is saying there is a at the home does not exist that particular file. So some reason in the base image that we give, my-playwright-image v1 does not have that file. So let's do one thing. Let me start the, let's see what all the, right now these are the container that are running. Let's get into this container, and let's copy this ID. Let's copy paste and get into the bash shell, and let's see if we have that folder, which is actually this has all the project files, which is expected. But let's, in the home app directory, so app and then cache, I think it's .cache. Let's see if we have this MS playwright MS. I'm tabbing, nothing is coming. Okay, let me cd into the home app directory and see if there is any .cache. No such file or directory. Okay, I think I know what is the issue, because the image that we created, which is the currently is the base image, that most likely when I committed, it was in the container that was running from Visual Studio. So let me do one thing. I am going to start the terminal window here, and then when I do a Docker run on the test playwright dev image and create a container, and I see inside this container the under home app directory, the cache .cache is there, and even if I cd ms playwright, you can see that it is auto populating. It is also there. So now I need a way to create another base image, my playwright base image, I wanted to create out of this test playwright dev image. So let me think. One way. So I'm going to start another okay, let's do one thing. I'm going to run an instance of the here in the Visual Studio terminal, and let's open the, so this is going to run, and let's open the command prompt, and here I'm going to see this instance is running here. I can actually create an image out of it. So docker commit, let's take the one that is test playwright dev, that container instance, and I am going to create called my playwright image. Let's say v2, this is the version 2, and I'm going to use this image inside the new application. So let's copy this one, and let's go. Did I copy? Actually, before that, let me run this v2 and make sure that the inside the v2, before even, let's make sure that those folders like this list / home, I'll go with the home / app and dot cache, and see it's auto populating, means it is there. I just wanted to make sure it is there, and even Chromium is there. Let's go inside the playwright, and I see that Chromium 1148. We can take this instance. Let's say Chromium that, and just wanted to make sure that even the drivers are there. So you can see it is under Chrome Linux. So that is the, so if we go inside this and then Chrome Linux, and that's the driver, you see that Chrome driver is already there. So let's copy this path, and most likely we are going to use that and say that where is the actual driver location, because that was always giving an issue. So I can specify that under browser, type launch options. Let's create an instance, and here there is a property. Let's list all the property. Yeah, that's the executable path, and I'm going to specify that here, and that is the Chrome, that is the driver. And also, so pretty much this is there, so I don't have to worry about missing drivers. So this is running in my playwright, and that's the Chrome driver, as you can see here. All right, and that's the path I just copied. So just all right, now since we have this, let's go to the Dockerfile, and instead of the v1, let's run it v2, and at this moment let's run the container. Right, let's run it. Okay, see the output. It is build successful, and it is starting the service, the container, waiting for this to, okay, so now I put a breakpoint, so it stopped here, so at least we know it is here. Now I press F5. Okay, most likely it is going to run the instance of the Chrome as headless browser, and let's wait and see. Wow, finally it's a screenshot saved on this PNG, and you can see this is the, let me make sure that there. So this is it is there, and you also see that in our solution you can see that PNG is right there. So that's now let's run it one more time. Okay, I just wanted to run and play with it to just make sure that it is running. And so it's going to create another it is going to run it, refresh it, and let's wait for that and watch this solution here. You'll see the moment it does the headless browser execution, it is going to bring that image right on the solution explorer. So let's watch it. Yes, almost at the same time. So you can see that it is there, and so that's the Docker. So you can see that it's off the v2. So, and I'm going to post this this configuration, whatever I used to create that, but definitely, like, you know, one of the important factor of this one is the Playwright platform. You have to make sure that this settings, this platform all is added to your project settings, which is as explained in the playwright.net library website. So, and you also see the latest version, or whatever, this is the latest version of the Playwright library. So hope this is helpful. And one more thing I think I wanted to do, let's quickly test that if we make, let's yeah, this is the website. You see, this is the image, that is the image which is auto generated from the website, but you can change this one to any other website, right? So right now this is the website which is out of the box, but if you want, you can actually go to another website and create another image. So for example, if I give, let's say, www.maxleadpro.com, and I'll change the image name so that maxleadpro.png. Also, let's copy the same thing and change it in the log also, and let's stop and restart. It'll show you like how fast now you can actually debug and run the container with Playwright. No more wait time of, you know, almost half an hour to update that. So let's run this, and you can see pretty much, you know, it is going to be up in few seconds. And let's wait. So hope it is awesome. See, it's created. So maxleadpro.png is also there in the solution, so you can open that, and that is it. I'll put all the settings that I used in the description, and thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm just started, so hopefully this is a helpful information for you to implement some web automation through using Playwright on Docker container or even containers, any container. Thank you.